What's going on, internet? Harry here with One Cat, and I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered how far the Militant plus supports can go on all three difficulties? If so, I have an answer. It's... Now, you don't want me to spoil the ending, do you? No, you don't. Let's go ahead and take the scenic route and talk about some Militant facts first. Now, doing this challenge on the normal difficulty was the scariest thing I've ever done in my entire life, and I went to war in Afghanistan. The thing with the Militant is, it sucks. As you can see from its stats table, it does a decent amount of damage per second at max level. The problem with it is the brand new reloading animation. And when I say brand new, I don't mean like brand new. I just mean that this tower didn't used to have a reloading animation, and for the life of me, I just cannot figure out why Below added it. It looks cool, I will say that, but wouldn't you know it, the tower always seems to reload right when a zombie's about to get outside of its range. So what's really scary about using only militants to do damage is that if they all stop to reload at the same time, an enemy that they could have killed will get away simply because they're reloading. So this 19.2 DPS is not accurate for the amount of time that the tower's reloading. And by the way, it takes about 3 seconds for the Militant to reload. This is just terrible if you're fighting any kind of fast enemies. Now, one way to speed up this reloading animation is to use the commander's call to arms ability. This seems to cut it in half. So 19.2 is not a great DPS, but it's also not terrible. What really makes it terrible is the reloading time. The only other tower in TDS that takes long pauses when it shoots is the accelerator, but the reason the accelerator has this cooldown period is to offset the massive amount of damage that it does. The Militant doesn't do a massive amount of damage though. It's a relatively cheap tower that does okay damage for early game, but it unnecessarily struggles during mid game because of the reloading feature. When Below added this reloading animation, he essentially nerfed the tower. Did the John Tower really need a nerf? He's already lost his Gorilla Noises ability, and now this? Oh, how far the monkey has fallen. All I'm really trying to say is that I struggle with this challenge, but only because of the reload. If the Militant didn't do this, the video would be completely different. Now, if you guys don't know, it used to be more expensive to place this tower, costing $1,200 instead of the $750 that you pay now. But to be honest, the $1,200 really wasn't that bad. I mean, I managed to use it in a solo Fallen vid as my starting tower, and it did fine, even with the increased placement cost. So the placement price buff really does not offset the fire rate nerf, in my opinion. Now, another thing I want to note here for this game is that RNG plays a huge role in how far I could get with the Militant on the normal difficulty. I died so many times to mystery normal boss spam on wave 11 and mystery speedy boss spam on wave 23. As long as those things didn't spawn, I was fine. Now, as I already alluded to, the supports I use here are the same as always: the commander, the DJ, and the farm. The commander's really gonna come in clutch by reducing that reload time by 50%, but the DJ's only kinda gonna help out with a range buff. But unfortunately, the Militant already has a pretty low range, so the DJ's not gonna be able to help out as much as it would for a higher range tower. And of course, the farm is gonna get me the monies. Now, because the Militant gets hidden detection at level 2, I don't have to use any other towers to take out those hidden enemies. In fact, this tower is gonna handle the shadow bosses really well all on its own. Now, I know you guys are gonna skip right to the end of each game to see how well I did, so be sure to stay tuned for my analysis. And hey, if you haven't already skipped to the end, go ahead and tell me it's your birthday in the comments so I can wish you a happy birthday. Now go ahead and bow down to the simp skin I'm using, and I'll see you right back here after this game. No way! That was so close! Man, that is all RNG. If he hadn't stomped right in the middle of my army of militants, I would have won. And why is he digging up so many enemies? God! I am so mad, man. I should have killed that gravedigger. Maybe you guys can win this if you try it at home. If you do try it, don't worry about upgrading all of your farms to max level. This is really hard to do in this game mode since you only get 30 waves, and so much of your money needs to go to placing and upgrading militants so you don't die. Alright guys, Molten mode is easier than normal mode, right? So I should win this, right?
It's your time to party, and get down like before. It's your time to party, and get down like before. It's your time to party, and get down like before. It's your time to party, and get down like before. Party like before. Party like before. Party like before. Party like before.
Wow, I was actually able to get more max level militants placed down faster in this game because I had more waves to farm during, and I still couldn't win. The challenge with fighting the Molten boss here was obviously that the stupid Molten Titans he kept spawning had too much health for me to kill him quickly, so my stupid militants just kept attacking them and not the Molten boss. Now during this game you could really see how much a tower's range matters, because the militant has such a low range that enemies are able to get away from him really quickly, even though I'm using a max level DJ for the max level range boost. Alright, let's go ahead and see how Fallen goes. Hey, I got all the way to the tank. That's way better than I thought I was gonna do, because I figured he'd kill me while my stupid militant army was reloading anyway. Overall, this tower did pretty good considering it's an early to mid-game tower and not meant to be used for late game. I really think that to offset the reloading animation, the damage per shot needs to be bumped up a little just to keep its DPS close to where it was before. But other than that, this is a pretty good tower. Just don't depend on it to carry you to the epic victory royale. Now, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash that like button with your forehead, hit the subscribe button with your big toe, and turn on notifications however you can so you don't miss any of my amazing upcoming content. And I will see you guys next time. Take care, be safe, and never forget what I always say. Blah, 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 blah.